It is 1:30 Universal Time. I'm Jim Tedder in Washington. The United States military in Iraq says the bodies of 2 missing American soldiers have been found. The soldiers went missing Friday after an attack on their security center. A statement Tuesday said the soldiers' remains were surrounded by explosives when they were found Monday night near Yusufia, south of Baghdad. Military officials say the bodies will be flown to the United States for medical tests to confirm their identities. An Iraqi general said the bodies showed signs of torture and bad treatment. An Iraqi rebel group linked to al-Qaeda has claimed responsibility for the killings. It said the new leader of al-Qaeda in Iraq, Abu Hamza al-Muhajir, carried out the killings. The statement has not been confirmed. President Bush is in Vienna, Austria, for a meeting with European leaders on Wednesday. A document to be presented at the end of the meeting is expected to include statements to not violate human rights in the war on terrorism. An early copy of the statement was received by news agencies. It says the fight against terrorism will be fought within international human rights laws. On Tuesday, National Security Advisor Stephen Hadley said Mr. Bush and European leaders will again confirm their efforts to resolve the Iranian nuclear crisis. However, he says no major announcements are expected. Palestinian medical workers say an Israeli airstrike in northern Gaza has killed 3 children and wounded 14 others. People who reportedly saw the attack say people jumped from a car before Israeli missiles hit the vehicle in Jabalia refugee camp Tuesday. Palestinians say the children were standing nearby. The Israeli military confirmed the airstrike. It said the car was carrying militants linked to the Fatah group of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. A top United States official says North Korea appears to be moving forward with plans to test a long-distance missile. However, the intelligence has not been confirmed. National Security Advisor Stephen Hadley made the comment Tuesday while traveling to a meeting in Europe. Earlier Tuesday, a North Korean official said his country has the right to test missiles. The official also said North Korea is not restricted by any earlier agreement or statement. North Korean officials did not confirm or deny that a missile test is planned. In Argentina, a former police chief is on trial for charges linked to the unofficial war against political opposition during the military rule that ended in 1983. Miguel Echecolatz appeared in court Tuesday. He is charged with torture, kidnapping, and murder. He is 76 years old. Mr. Echecolatz is the first former officer to be tried since the Supreme Court removed laws protecting former military officers from prosecution. Those laws protected hundreds of military officers from prosecution on reported human rights abuses during the dictatorship. You are listening to the news in VOA Special English. Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir has again said that he will not permit United Nations peacekeepers to enter the Darfur area of the country. Mr. al-Bashir spoke Tuesday at a news conference with visiting South African President Thabo Mbeki. The Sudanese leader rejected an effort to have the UN take control of the current African Union force in Darfur. Former Liberian President Charles Taylor has arrived in the Netherlands to face war crimes charges. Mr. Taylor was brought to a high-security prison near The Hague Tuesday after being flown to the Netherlands from Sierra Leone. A United Nations-aided court charged him with war crimes and crimes against humanity during Sierra Leone's civil war. Mr. Taylor denies the charges. A spokesman for the special court told VOA News that many people in Sierra Leone would have liked the trial to take place in their own country instead. However, West African leaders were concerned that having the trial in the country could lead to fighting in the area. The Canadian government says it plans to accept more than 800 refugees from Burma later this year. Canadian Immigration Minister Monte Solberg made the announcement Tuesday to honor World Refugee Day. He says Canada looks forward to helping the refugees rebuild their lives. Mr. Solberg says the majority of the refugees are from the Karen ethnic group. He says many have lived in refugee camps in Thailand for more than 10 years. A group of United States lawmakers is urging President Bush and other group of 8 leaders to criticize the Russian government for what they say is its undemocratic leadership. The 2 lawmakers made their request in a letter to G8 leaders Tuesday. The members of Congress accuse Russian President Vladimir Putin of increasing pressure on political opponents and putting more state control on the media. Leaders from the group of 8 meet next month in the Russian city of St. Petersburg. The United Nations Security Council has voted to extend a UN project in East Timor until August 20th. The Security Council voted in support of the measure Tuesday, following a recent increase of violence in the country. In other news Tuesday, the United Nations says government lawyers in East Timor have ordered police to arrest former Interior Minister Rogerio Lobato. The government is accusing Mr. Lobato of providing weapons to civilians during riots last month. He is a close ally of East Timor's Prime Minister Mari Alkatiri. Briefly, here again is the major news. The United States military in Iraq says the bodies of 2 missing American soldiers have been found. The soldiers went missing Friday after an attack on their security center. President Bush is in Vienna, Austria, for a meeting with European Union leaders Wednesday. And in Argentina, a former police chief is on trial for charges linked to the unofficial war against the political opposition during the country's period of military rule. That's the news in Special English. Jim Tedder reporting.